And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I always do. And I'm with my team, my friends. I said, we should be calling this Wisdom Wednesday with friends. No, sorry, Water Cooler Day with friends. So here we are. Here we are with Chris and Gwendolyn.
Wisdom Wednesday. Good morning.
Water Cooler. I hear feedback. Who's talking? Who has this?
No, that was me. Sorry, I just turned it down. I tell you, I watch it on the TV so I can read on the comments.
I hear feedback. I was like, what's going on? I hear myself.
No, that was me.
What's going on, people? Oh, wait. There's a surprise visitor.
Lord bless. Oh my goodness.
We were just talking about him.
I was like, which room is he in today?
That's too cute. Too cute.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay, we got a guess. So how you guys doing today? I mean, it was cold last night in New York. Was it cold in Delaware?
It's still cold. I was in I did a 5 mile walk this morning in my thermals with my hat and my gloves.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I left out this morning, it was 42 degrees, I believe. It is now 43. Now it's 53.
Oh man, it was cold as well. I was like, where did the warmth go? Now it really feels like autumn, and it's supposed to be this way for the next couple of weeks.
Well, it is
no warm weather coming. No warm weather coming. There is one little day where it's gonna be.
It's giving winter vibes.
This is it. No more 60s.
My windows and the sliding door has been closed for a while now.
Well, we're in the same boat. It was in the 40s this morning. It's 51 right now. It's extremely windy.
It's colder there than it is in New York City.
Yeah, I love how you speak about Texas. Like we don't get fucking seasons here.
I always do that. I know.
Was like,
yeah, but though, you always think of Texas as being like this warm climate all the time. I mean, Gritty, I know you guys get a little cold, but you guys don't get like, well, I won't say that because you do get cold, and the state doesn't do well with it at all.
They know how to get cold.
Shade. That goes to your government.
Yes, they're cold. They're just cold. There's a cold state.
Love you, Gwendolyn.
So
love you guys. Love you.
I will start off with my wonderful day yesterday. I was still playing host to wonderful Adam from the south of France. And so yesterday I was blessed by Adrian's sister. She gave us some access to areas in Rockefeller Center that most people don't get to go unless they pay big bucks to go do it.
Exclusive.
So it was exclusive areas, and Adam was totally like shocked. He couldn't believe that we were on the tops of Rockefeller Center, and I didn't realize that Rockefeller Center has so many rooftop, parks,
spaces,
terraces, greenery, trees. I mean, there's a whole world on the rooftops of Rockefeller Center. And it was great. We had a good time. And then after we did that, then we went and had food at this place called Billy's Bar and Burger, which is also in Rockefeller Center. And that was it was delicious. I didn't have burgers. I had a salad. I had a real full salad. My body was like, yes, salad. And it was robust salad. And so we sat there. For some reason, remember I was telling you on the day before, the tickets were like $112, $120 for the sunset. Well, we were able to get
the sunset of what?
the sunset on the root on top of the rock.
Since when?
Yes, they have a special sunset rates.
Crazy.
We were able to, and it wasn't as crowded as the day before. And we were able to get tickets for like 50, I think it was 50 and change, 55. So I think it was $55. And but then we got the family discount, so that made it even better. So Christina said, "Okay, we got you. I got you." She said, "Don't worry about it." I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful." So we had a great time, and it was so good to spend time with her. And then she got to meet Adam, and then later on, Adam, myself, we hung out with one of my friends, and we went to the top of the rock, and another photographer friend of mine, and we photographed the city. Got lots of great pictures from in the city, and then after that, it was time to call in the evening, and Adam was like, I said, Adam, you going back to Jersey? He says, no. I said, where you going? He says, I'm going to Roosevelt Island, that place with the tram. He said the tram that, and he's using his French voice, tram. And I was like, okay, yes. And I said, you might want to go do it. He said, no. He has his whole itinerary, like all the places he had to hit while here, and he's here to Saturday. And I was glad that I was able to be committed to 2 days. I promised his auntie that I would be there for him and his uncle, and I said, okay, I'll make sure he gets to see 2 places at least. So he got to see Harlem, and he got to go on top of the rock, and then we went on the terrace area that we did go was. When if you see the video, I'll share it in a little bit after you say hellos. But that terrace is $20,000 an hour. If you're going to have a wedding there, just so you know, it's $20,000 per hour.
That's how the rich stay rich.
I'm like, wow. So anyway, Gwendolyn, what do you have going on? What do you have going on in your world?
I am
besides cleaning. Your death, what do you call it? Your death cleaning?
Okay, so it is Swedish death cleaning.
Swedish death cleaning.
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, like real talk for the world we're living in. Truly, there is a good chunk of American citizens who could really look around their home and say, "I don't need this stuff." And I will add this because we were talking before we came live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in times of turmoil, most humans want to find some sense of normalcy and control, and so they take to organizing their home. Right now, I've been doing this since last year, so this is not new for me. But as I go through stuff, I wake up and I'm like, I just want to throw this whole house away. But I know I can't do that. I mean, technically I could, but I probably shouldn't do that. But it gives you a sense of some control, like I can control what's happening in the 4 walls of my home. And as I mentioned, if the world is chaotic, your home tends to show that as well. So, couple of baskets of laundry sitting around, cosmetics all over the countertop, all kinds of stuff, not where they normally are. And I was like, my world feels chaotic and my home is showing the chaos. I cannot vibe. So we got up this morning, did a lot of stuff. Put the laundry away, put the cosmetics away. We're going to wash our brushes and what have you and get other things in order. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get a whole bunch of content out because, I don't post things real time. So there's a lot of stuff coming that happened, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. It's like, remember this moment? They're like, oh my God, I remember
6 months ago.
Yeah. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that's like just coming out because I need to get it out. I don't want to bring it into 2026.
So before we go to Chris, let's say good morning to some folks. I see Hannah's in the building. She gets the gold. She is there. She says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. And then in the silver line is Jazzy Jazz. She says, good morning, beautiful people. And then with the bronze, Anthony Rowland says, good morning. And then we have all of our wonderful friends. Good morning, all from Gwendolyn. It's Hump Day from Adrian Florence. And then it says happy Wednesday, y'all, from Brian Young Creative. We have Lisa. She is saying hello, everyone. Hey, everyone. And I do like that too. She says, Wonder Friends Wednesday. And let's see here. Lisa says, I'm about to seal some of my windows up for the winter. It's that time. It's that time. And Mr. Bryson, the birthday boy of the week or birthday man of the week, he says, what's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, Gwendolyn? What's up, everybody? Happy One Chicago Wednesday. What's that?
NBC, all the Chicago shows air on Wednesday nights. On NBC.
For those of us that watch regular TV.
Well, I watch it on Thursdays when it comes on streaming. I don't watch it on network TV.
I don't watch TV, and even I know what that is.
Well, thank you. Gwendolyn, you always know what's everything. You always on the end.
I'm not even gonna say anything. Continue, sir. Continue.
I believe it is Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and Chicago Hope. I think it is.
Really?
Those three. Yes.
Okay. Adrian says those artists are elite. And Lisa says, I saw your video. Looks so amazing. I want to go. And Kimmy Kim is in the building. Yes, Kimmy. Good morning, everyone. Kimmy Kim.
Kimmy, like he says, Kimmy. Yeah.
Yeah, Kimmy.
We're not gonna say
Kimmy. And when I hear her voice, when I see her name, I also have a song that goes with Kimmy's name.
What is it?
Kimmity.
Now, Gwendolyn, why would you ask him that?
Oh, dear Lord. I thought it was something that was going to be like amazing.
Kimmy. So anyway, Aya's in the building. She says Grand Rising Ron, Chris, and Gwendolyn. And she also says Happy Wine Day.
There you go.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, that's Gwendolyn's Boulevard, Street, and Avenue.
and Avenue. Thank you, sir.
She is the one that knows all about wines. Are you still doing those classes? Are you still doing the sommelier?
Am I going for the sommelier classes? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Gwendolyn is all about being an expert.
There's so much. But
she's about being the expert.
I have my moments.
I know. Those are those. And Bryson just says Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Did not know. I don't watch TV, so I don't know. I only look at YouTube. Lisa says, I was all ready to watch Doc last night, only to turn to Fox and see the World Series. Well,
wasn't that on for like
hanging out with Adrian
last night?
What's that?
Wasn't it like on for like 6 hours or something?
It was on the World Series.
The night before. Yeah, the night before. It was a really long.
It's a long night.
I've been enjoying the World Series, but it's the only thing I look at in baseball is the World Series. If it's a good team, and there's two good teams, and then Adrian pointed out to me that it's, Toronto, which is Canada, and America, which is, LA, and then you have the Kindred and what's the other guy's name?
I don't do baseball.
For Canada, no, the rappers, the music people.
What about
Drake? Kendrick and Drake? Like I'm trying. Where are we going?
Drake is Canada, and Kendrick is LA.
No competition, but anyway,
I see what you're trying to do. Oh, okay, I was like
symbolism, y'all,
yeah.
symbolism. Yes, I just learned that. Being around Adrian has been giving me some schoolings on some regular things that are going on in the world. Because I am such a nerd. Jazzy says, I'm with you, Ron. I had no idea what that was. Thank you. Because Jazzy, may I say, you're just as much of a nerd as I am. And we don't know what's going on in the real world sometimes.
May I also confess, Ron, to Jazzy that I forgot to unmute my tab again this morning. And I couldn't hear Ron. I was like, ooh, and I told Jazzy I would not forget, but I got it. So I'm here.
Yes, Jazzy, she was caught red-handed with mute. The mute was on, and you did warn her. You did warn her. Here you are. Okay, so there we go. Thank you. Adrian got it. Drake versus Kendrick. And we know who wins. Kendrick. Correct? Is everybody a Kendrick fan in the room? Well, are you a Drake fan?
Drake fan.
No Drakes in the building? No Drakeys? No Drake friends? No Drake fans?
I like one or two of his songs, but let's just be real. He is not a hip hop artist. I don't even know why he cosplaying like that. So
you say he's not a hip hop
artist? He's not.
Is he pop? Is he pop?
I'd put him in the pop category, maybe pop, a little R&B. I don't know, but he's not hip hop, no.
Well, I think Kendrick is nice. I like Kendrick because of the elevation of his lyrics. They tell stories. They are fighting for people's rights. They tell stories about the community. I like Kendrick. So LA has to win. Just saying. Now, here's another one. Chris, is your family in Jamaica? Because definitely we want to be thinking about, we want to be praying for the folks of Jamaica because
it's
I don't know if you've seen some of the footage of just where they could reach. They said the footage, they said they can't even get into the mountain area because the mountains are washed. Some of the mountains are washed away.
Yeah. So for the most part, I would say 98% of my family is in the States now. My dad's side, we do have a few like family friends and like cousins and stuff like that are there. From the last time I heard, everyone was okay. We do have some family that live in the mountains, so I haven't heard from them as of yet. But yeah, I think we all need to just pray for Jamaica because when people finally are able to get in to see the devastation, I'm sure it's going to be unworldly. This was the worst storm to ever hit that country in our lifetime. Category 5, 185 miles an hour, sustained winds, 75 with gusts up to 185. That is, I mean, I saw footage of people like putting stuff out on social media where like they literally saw the whole entire roof just lift up and the house crumble. Now, mind you, these houses are not made out of just like wood. Concrete. They're made out of concrete and cement blocks. So that tells you the force that is being pummeled on an island. And then all of the flooding, even before that storm made landfall, Jamaica has a lot of with those earth camps that are set up kind of throughout the country where you can kind of tap into. And a lot of like the roadways and some famous bridges that are there, crossings, were completely washed over. So I can only imagine. And then there was, and I hope this was CGI, but there was a video of a resort where the water came in and sharks came in with the tide.
What?
Yeah. So that was on social media yet last night. So definitely want to follow up and look at some of that stuff. But I mean, of course, you're going to have stuff like that. Fish are going to, large fish are going to be pushed up onto the land.
It is.
I mean, the ocean's coming in.
I mean, we've seen that kind of stuff down in Houston and what have you during hurricanes. All like everything comes in, so it is possible. But you also think in times like this when it's already very tragic, what we don't need is some BS video. Like we don't need that. Life is already tragic as is, so we don't need this extra stuff. So that's not. That's
my husband is a veteran, and he was injured in the line of duty.
It happened while I was deployed to Iraq. An IED detonated 3 feet from my face.
It was bad.
I remember thinking, who's going to take care of my wife and daughter?
We took care of each other with a lot of help from DAV.
Let me just
these commercials. They're getting longer and longer.
The commercials. Keep going. We'll wait till commercials over. I'll bring it back.
Also, before I forget, like it hit on the western side of the island, and then Kingston's on the eastern side.
Hey, Chris, you can keep talking.
Well, guys, let's just play.
And
Yeah.
you have
So,
this, and Cuba was
people,
this morning, right? Or last
right,
night?
and that's another thing. Like, it hit Cuba as a category 4, and it's still going towards like the Bahamas as like a category, I believe 3 or 2. So this is a storm that keeps on giving, as they would say.
And it is the worst. It is the second. It ties for the worst hurricane ever in recorded history in the Atlantic Basin. So
I mean,
it has the lowest barometric pressure ever recorded. So
you don't get too many category 5s. That's bad.
Yeah, 5 is devastating.
I mean, they were warning people in Jamaica, said, listen, you guys have never seen anything like this. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of videos of people on social media from Jamaica who are saying, oh, and a lot of them live in coastal towns where they live off of fishing and they live on the water. They said, oh, we've been here before. The water only comes in up to so high, up to our ankles, and then we're okay. But I'm afraid for them because, I think a lot of times too, we get so used to people saying, oh, this is going to be the bad storm, and it comes in and, doesn't do exactly what they say it's going to do. But I think everyone saw the writing on the wall for this one. This one was going to be devastating. And I hope that these people took heed, even at the last moment, to get out of the way, because there's going to be some serious devastation. A lot of structures are going to be wiped away. A lot of families, will have losses. And I hope that it's not human life. You can rebuild. It'll take years and probably decades to build back to what it is now, to what it was. But your life is more important. So I hope they got out the way of this one.
Well, it is, and they were also speaking of the shark. They were talking about on this morning, there was warnings for crocodiles. I didn't know Jamaica had crocodiles.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
I've actually gone through a crocodile farm on the northern coast, over in Ocho Rios. Well, alligator farms, yeah.
And something I did not know about the islands, because this hurricane brought tornadoes onto Jamaica's island. So they also saw tornadoes yesterday.
So are you saying that you weren't aware that tornadoes are inside hurricanes? Is that what you're saying?
No, I know that they usually are in hurricanes, but they're very rarely seen in the islands, tornadoes. So I've been, from the history I've learned on the weather as a studying meteorology in school, I didn't see tornadoes in like the small islands.
Yeah, but if you got a hurricane trust, they're in there.
Yeah.
If there's a hurricane coming, there's tornadoes that come with, as well as all the other things that come with.
And to Dr. Tachi's point, this is actually late in hurricane season.
It is.
Yeah, it's late, but so it ends what, November?
No. Well, I think it would end this week. Technically, it ends this weekend. Yeah. But it's very rare you see like huge storms like this far in the season.
Go ahead, Gwendolyn. What's that smile for?
She was reading the comments.
Lisa's talking about me. I am actively working on holding my expressions, my thoughts.
You can't. That's impossible.
I am actively working.
Yeah. We can't do it.
Your face says everything.
Because I'm just like, I'm not understanding.
You can't.
I really, but it is thing, like, it's just a simple, like, I'm not understanding what you're saying. All I'm saying is I don't understand.
Ooh, what a debate.
I just wanted to make sure that we were aware that, like, hurricanes.
Yes, I'm aware in the United States.
All of the things. So it's bringing water. It's bringing crazy wind. It's bringing crazy lightning. It's bringing tornadoes. It is that weather cocktail that you're like, ooh, please don't come this way. And it's slow moving. Sometimes they're fast, but they're not really.
This was
slow
moving.
Yeah. And it can take up like a lot of mass. I remember being in Florida when one came through, everybody felt it. I mean, I'm down here in Boca and it hit up north. I'm like, damn, but it was all day because it's, it's a peninsula. But yeah, what can I tell you?
Well, we don't get that many hurricanes in New York. So, but we did have one devastating.
One we do.
We had,
when New York does.
It happens. Okay, so I have a couple of headlines. I guess here we can go through, unless there's anything you want to bring up.
Well, Adrian was asking about the drops of God, and like Bryson had a question. I just want to make sure I don't miss something.
Yes,
I think he was talking about Drake, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Now I don't know what the drops of God is, so no, I don't know what that is. Adrian, I can go ahead and answer that.
What is
it? Somehow I got the
She got cocktail in the web cover.
It is you know a weather cocktail. It's got all the things. It's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little dash, a little bitters. But there's I want to say Bryson was asking like, how did I know if I didn't like his song? Was that in reference to Drake? Was that
Drake?
Was that Drake he was referring to?
Come on,
like
Bryson.
I said, I liked a couple of his songs, but I don't see him as hip hop. I still know him from when he was on TV, you know, doing stuff. So I'm just like, you know, when people, you know.
See, like and Lisa says,
Lisa
says the Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. So
okay, so we're still
there's another month. There's a whole nother month.
We go. I thought it was like the 6th. Thank you, Lisa.
And you know, Gwendolyn likes a good cocktail, so
I'm really a wine person. However, I am learning about the cocktails. I am learning. There is a difference. So just want to make sure we're clear here. Because you can get wine at your grocery store. You cannot pick up liquor at the grocery store.
That's right.
It's a whole nother something.
And cocktails must be made in the moment.
No, not really.
You can get cocktails in a bottle?
Well, no, not really. I mean, actually, yeah, you can, but that's a whole other story. I would say that because I had a story from yesterday on our Taco Tuesday. So we go to our local Mexican spot, and we've really gotten to know like the staff there. We go every Tuesday, and our bartender, he always hooks us up. So like yesterday, we came home with like a half gallon of margarita. I was like, yeah, you're getting a really good Christmas gift this year. And he's heavy-handed.
Oh.
If you're heavy-handed, woo. Okay, no. So I guess I should repeat it. I like some of his songs, but I can't even name 2 of them, but I probably like 5, maybe. All right. It is what it is, but he's not hip hop. Let's just go ahead and put that to the side. Like he is not. Okay. So
Drake is pop.
Yeah, he pop music.
Yep.
So yeah, you know. Do I like his entire collection? I can tell you that. No. When I say I like a couple's like 2. So that's just what that is. Like, you know.
It seems like most of the people in this community do like Kendrick.
But you know, if you're of a certain age, we had in the time that we grew up people who were lyricists.
Yes.
Who could literally just do a cipher, just like, you know, off the cuff. And you bring in some commercialization of an art, of an art form, and then you get people like Drake. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not filling my champagne glass. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. So, it's hard to understand what they're even saying now, if they're actually saying anything. But anyway, you have some topics, Ron.
I do. And I'm going to bring some of them on the screen. And we can just talk about them briefly, like one at a time, and just kind of like stuff that's just moving around and trending online. Well, first of all, this is important. I do believe this is really important. So let's get this on the screen for our people that know people that need help for this coming weekend as we slide into hunger of our country. And so here we go. This is going to be a good information. And that is, there are food assistance resources available. And that's so important information. I'll try to get these links onto the description. But this weekend, SNAP is over. And anything related to helping people, it is predicted that 40 million people will go hungry because of SNAP being taken away this weekend. 40 million Americans.
And
what do y'all think about this?
This is starting at the beginning of the holiday season, because as we know, November gets us into Thanksgiving, which takes us right into the holiday season as far as Christmas and Kwanzaa and all those other religious holidays. I mean, we are living in this crazy time with, go ahead, Gwendolyn.
Okay, let me get my face together here. Let me get my face together. Okay, here's the deal, people. Here's the deal. Sometimes I believe things happen to put front and center what has always been happening. It is not like the past 5, 6, whatever years, we have not had American citizens who could not put food on their table. There are videos on my channel that show numbers of families in line, numbers of working families. These are not people who are not holding themselves accountable. These are not people who are just laying back playing Xbox and not working. These are working families who can't put food on the table. That was before this happened. I am only imagining what that's going to look like in November. In fact, I don't have to imagine, because I've seen the lines of vehicles waiting for a Thanksgiving meal, waiting for basic meals. I've seen the college kids walk up to the table to take food. We have already had a problem. That the hunger issue in America is not new. The fact that you have an administration that no longer wants to record the hunger problem in America is new. That's new. That we no longer want to recognize what's happening. It's been happening. And at this point, it is front and center.
I agree with you, but it's also amplified even more now.
But that's a plus. And here's the plus. When people get hungry, then things get wonky. Like in times of chaos and economic instability, crime goes up. But people aren't just stealing to steal. Like there's always one or two. It's like, I got a new TV, but you got people stealing bread, stealing like vegetables and whatnot, right? Because they're trying to figure it out. But here is the deal. Perhaps, just perhaps, we can start having a conversation that explains why a CEO can make $2 fucking million an hour, a day, a year, whatever, with a bonus and have you. And then the person's on the front line, you won't even vote for getting a minimum wage of $20 an hour, which is like damn near what, 5 really in this time. We should be doing 25, maybe $30 an hour for minimum wage in this country. You have people so obsessed with is not attainable. We have been celebrating those in this 1%, like, oh my God, if I could be a billionaire. It's like, you're not going to be a billionaire, okay? Because everybody can't be that. Everybody can't be it. But we can all be here in the regular, right? We're all here. Why do you believe that person who's not on the front line deserves what they deserve, but the person right here in front of you bringing your meal does not deserve a living wage? Why do you believe that? Maybe at this point, when you start seeing what's really happening and is happening to you, you might stop voting against your best interests. Maybe that'll get you there. But you know what? I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't mean to say like, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but when people think we're only talking about the people who get the SNAP benefits, we don't do this by ourselves. They don't just get food magically. They go to a store.
That's right.
And that money's not going to that store. And if they don't get their money, what are they getting? It is a circle. We don't do this by ourselves. When people say, I did it by myself, those are the lies we tell ourselves. You don't do it by yourself. You need customers. Those grocery stores, big, small, and whatever, need the people who use those SNAP benefits.
That's right. It is an incentive. SNAP is an incentive, and it puts money into the community, and it helps those stores, those grocery stores and delis and anyone at the stores that are helping and servicing the people. They're going to miss out on those extra dollars.
The money that these billionaires, like the quote unquote billionaire that donated $130 million to quote unquote go to paying for to pay the troops that did not get paid, even though it's been debunked. That money really can't do anything. When you break it down, each person would only get about $100 out of it. But anyway, all the people, all the companies that are donating to this quote unquote ballroom, that money could go towards that to support people in need of food. I mean, we are the $40 billion that we've sent over to Venezuela, that could be used in our country. What happened to America first? It seems like it's America against everyone else, or it should be honestly America last, because we're the last ones to get anything out of this. This man is out there going around the world, creating deals for himself and everyone else, but the people that he's supposed to be serving are not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
That is it's just we're going to see something that we have never seen in our lifetime. I do believe. I think, and I agree with Gwendolyn that this is hopefully what will happen is that poor people in these red states will wake up. I don't believe they will. I mean, even when you have interviewing farmers and they have their farms, they're losing their farms. They have some that have committed unlive themselves. And they still say they will vote for the orange man again.
If I may, I believe poor is a state of mind. Can I just say that?
Okay.
And I say that because, I mean, hear me clearly. As I've said before, I didn't know that we were food insecure until I was in high school. That's in the 90s. My parents did an amazing job not making us aware that we were food insecure, and not poor, but food insecure. Because if you look at the morality of certain people, they are definitely lacking in that field. So poor is a state of mind. Do I believe that we're going to see some change? I believe we may see some change in certain circles of people. Black folks have always found a way.
Yes.
Right? We have always found a way to endure and have done. Like, we've talked about it. We were like, our people were given scraps, and we have made amazing meals from those scraps. So we know how to get along. There may be some who will learn, right? We've been preaching for a very long time about get yourself with a community, find a community garden. So I do believe it may strengthen certain communities, certain neighborhoods, areas. I do see that happening. You may get a few people who are like, this isn't really working. And I want to say this too. People talk about capitalism and AI as if these are two things that are destroying our world. It is not. These are tools. It is the conscious decisions that we make that are destroying us. AI does not take your job. Some human in a room decides to eliminate your job versus retraining you for something else in the future. That's a conscious decision. For capitalism, you don't have to cheat your customers. You don't have to pay your workers the lowest wage possible to get mass amounts of money. That's a conscious decision to do that. It doesn't do it by itself. And when we say things like capitalism is awful and AI is like, those are excuses. It's a scapegoat. Humans make these decisions. So be responsible for the decision that you're making. You do not have to do what everybody else is doing. Those are choices. Amazon does not have to treat their employees the way they do. Wally World does not have to treat their employees the way they do. With all that money, you can't tell me that you can't pay people because they're paying the CEO. He is getting their funds. We know there's money. These are conscious decisions on where we decide to put it.
Well,
That's
it's about
so
the individual
mindset.
Yeah, it's about the individual.
But here's another story. Obviously, I love this quote. I saw this today, and I thought I would share this quote. Bob Marley: "You will never find justice in a world where criminals make the rules."
Yep.
That, my friends, is the truth. And we have criminals all throughout this administration. But not only that, it's a criminal enterprise in the way this country's been run. Like Gwendolyn says, over the years, this is not something new to us. This is something that is now being broadcast that is happening because it's someone wants to try to win the people's mindset because of just making sure this is out in the world. But America has a problem with feeding its people, and no one in the richest country in the world, whether it's through, we have lots of debt as a country, but we still are the richest country in the world. And why there are people in this country that are poor, as in they don't have food. When I mean poor, I mean food. I like the word
food insecurity.
Scarcity, food insecurity. It should not happen. There should be no place in America where people are hungry. It's just disturbing that the people that in power, mainly the Republicans and the MAGA folks, are happy about this. They're happy about using it as a weapon. It's just the insanity of it all. And again, I can't understand, and I'll never understand. Well, no, let me go back. We know it's racism. We know that people vote against their own interests because they don't want someone else to have.
Yeah, but you have to buy into that though. Like I was watching this show on YouTube about Black foods that have gone missing, but they haven't gone missing. I'm like, I still do collard greens and turkey necks and whatnot. But the comments, there were so many people sharing their memories of having like hot water cornbread and all these different dishes. And then this guy said, I'm not Black, but we had that too because my grandparents were sharecroppers. People act as if every white person came in here with money. We know that's not true.
That's not true.
It's like we said, there was a time where we understood and they understood and we all understood together. But somebody came in and said, can you believe that? And that guy got that? You got to watch them. And you buy into that foolishness that puts you at a place where now it's, I believe in this and I don't want this. And, it's interesting how you buy into that. It's a choice though. It is a choice. Like when they were on the street, and I hate how we use these nicknames. We said it last time. We have got to hold people accountable for saying things as they are. It is Affordable Health Care Act. It is not Obamacare. You have people like, I don't like Obama, but they can't even tell you why they don't like this man.
No, it's because they have the name.
They have no idea.
Because he's the black man that was the president. That's all. They don't like him because he was the black man who became the president.
But they don't know why they don't like the black man.
That's right.
Right. So like
it
some of the
matter.
values that are given to us, some of the stories told, a number of us as adults will never truly define our own values because it takes a lot to walk away from what you've always thought you knew. That takes strength to be like, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Because it's easier and it's safer to be in groupthink than to actually say, I don't know why I don't like Black people. Why do I not like Black people? Why not? I don't know. Ask people, why do you not like Obama? Well, I don't know because it's, they don't even know. They don't even know. It's just easier to just go with
the crowd.
So to come out of that, to come out of this foggy state, this sort of catatonic state, that requires a lot of consciousness. Now, some people will get to a place where it's so bad that they're going to recognize it. And then some will just stay there because it's just easier to stay there. But Black folks come into the world fighting. I don't know nothing but fighting.
We fight every day of our lives.
And be like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought you was coming up on me. I wasn't sure. Because that's our state of being. Like we stay in a constant state of rage. I look joyful. I am joyful. But deep down inside, if I could punch a bitch, shit, I'd do it. I mean, I'm sorry.
Truth.
Gwendolyn is like ready.
On out here. Do you know how much it takes to not react to what's going on out here? Come on, think about it.
It's true.
We would be in those streets, but we know that that's what they want, to do some other disgusting things, and we will not feed into that. Yeah, we are. We are working overtime over here, protecting these emotions, working overtime.
Yeah.
You ain't lying there. You are not lying. Well, here's speaking of the people taking control and hitting the streets and making something, doing something. I am so happy that this is going on. And again, we've heard Elise talk about this all the time before. Now she's spoken into existence. So it is now happening around the country. And it's so funny. I'm supposed to go to Puerto Rico on Thanksgiving Day. And now I have to say, oh, I can't go to Puerto Rico because I want to make sure that I am supporting this.
Can you not go earlier?
Well, my buddies, it was a gift.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll be actually just getting back from, we'll be in Hawaii, coming back on the 25th, literally that day.
Yeah. So the 20th, but so this is really big, and it's let me just get it on the screen a little closer, and you can.
Do you have the video that goes with this? There's a black woman. I follow her. I think you follow her also. Let me see if I have it, because I think I saved it.
Well, here is the QR code if they want to go to it. thepeoplessickday.com, and this is the mass blackout. Refuse to be silenced. November 25th. December 2nd. Time for the biggest economic and labor blackout in U.S. history. No work, no school, no purchases, no streaming, no feeding the system. Organize, resist, and strike. I am with it. They do not, the powers that be, the Bezos and all, and you know, the Bezos, they don't care. It's like what's his name from he's a professor at Columbia. He said there comes a point in an economic ladder that when you get to a certain point, that number, I forgot the number, I think he said it was like 55 million. It was one of these millions that you can never spend that money in your lifetime. Now, when you're talking about these guys and these company owners that have 280 million, 70 million, 600 million, that's just pure, as we always say, greed. And there's no reason why you're not helping people. There is no reason why you're not paying your folks a real living wage. There's no reason. If you are making $600 million, you could never spend it in your lifetime.
That part. And like, what is it for? And
a lot
of these people that have that type of money and they have kids, they've already said they're not giving it to their kids.
That's right.
But Ron, check the private chat. I put the link in the video for that.
Here we go. Put her on my girl. I love her. Here we go. And okay. Let me get that. Get rid of that. Sorry. A little technical going on here. Here we go. Don't smile, Gwendolyn. Don't you dare smile. Don't you
It wasn't preloaded, so forgive him.
Yeah, there you go.
Blackout. Not a march, not a protest, no signs necessary. It's 1 week where we pull our dollars out of the system and see what happens when the economy feels the weight of our absence. Because we've marched, we've begged, most of us voted the right way. And now we're just going to sit back and test the one thing this country truly worships: money. See, this isn't the first time we've tried this, right? Economic boycotts have always been the heartbeat of real change, from Montgomery to Operation Breadbasket. When the buses lost money, segregation fell. When companies realized ignoring Black consumers meant losing profit, they started hiring, promoting, and pandering. History has already shown us that pulling our dollars hits harder than any speech, any march, any protest ever could. The timing isn't random. Black Friday is the biggest spending weekend in America. Billions get poured into corporations that barely reinvest in the communities that made them rich in the first place. So from November 25th to December 2nd, the goal is simple, okay? Buy nothing that doesn't circulate back into us. You hear me? Support small, support local, support Black. Because when we withhold our dollars, we remind this country that we're not just consumers. We are the economy. So yeah, the mass blackout isn't about canceling Christmas or skipping joy. It's about shifting power and realizing that every dollar that we spend is a vote for the world that we live in. They've ignored our voices. They've ignored our pain. Let's see if they ignore our absence. We're not asking anymore. We are shutting this shit down. Okay? No spending. If you do need something, make sure you go to farmers market, support small businesses. There's a ton of places that you can go to make sure you support the right people, not corporations. We are done. We're done. From November 20th.
I am so happy this is taking trend. It is it's gained legs, and it is moving across the country every day. I see more of it. I see more of this. Not only, I mean, there's so many of these groups that are now merging together and becoming a huge movement, and I'm loving it. And we will support it. I will support it.
Yeah.
So I think shutting the country down is the way to go, because corporations do not understand anything but money.
Yeah, I agree. Well, here's a little asterisk, is that you can't turn around and then go shop there afterwards.
Yeah.
This is not two things. Yes, I believe in shutting all the shit down, but hey, Gwendolyn was born militant. So as I was telling Jazzy, one monkey does not stop the show, but how about 200,000 monkeys? How about 300,000 monkeys? That would stop the show a couple of times, right? The deal is, to make the lasting impact,
yes,
it requires the change of habit and mindset. So when I walk away, like I said, I walks away for good. I'm not coming back. So we are doing it. Mr. Jack was like, "You do know there's a blackout." I said, "Mr. Jack is on the." Oh shit! Okay. This is why I was like, "You're gonna get lucky tonight, sir." No, just kidding. We stay active all the time, but still, I'm just kidding. Okay, no, really. He came home talking things about the economy and what we can do. But here's the deal: you cannot turn around and go back to what you did before. It becomes a moot. It's like
it negates it.
When people leave. Do not go back and be like, "I really want that." You have got to leave, because you put the money back where it was. It was like it was all for show.
Yes.
This requires a change of behavior, a change of mindset. I am clear. If you don't respect me, you don't respect these green dollars. Okay, I'm taking all mine with me. Don't worry about it.
I think it's important to say, I don't think that everyone can do a systematic change overnight of everything.
Oh, I agree.
Take one of two things that you say, you know what, I'm gonna take a stand on this and walk away from it. The same way that a lot of people have taken a stand on Target. It's been, what are we in now? The 10th month, about to go to 11th month. January, the very beginning of January, like first week of January was the last time I was actually in a Target and bought anything. Actually, haven't been in a Target store.
Never been to a Target, nope.
And I have to admit, I had to go there to get a shot, because they're the only ones in this area that gives the Moderna COVID shot that has my records. So I'm going to go in just to go to the CVS to get my shot. But other than that, I am not spending I don't spend my dollars in Target. I've given that up. And like I've said on this program many, many times before, me and Target have been best friends for over 20-something years, but they piss me off. And just like when I'm done with a relationship, I'm done with a relationship. You can't say, "Oh, I'm done." You can't cuss them out and then go back a week later, like, "Oh, well, the sex ain't that good." You can get it from somewhere else. Okay?
There you go. There's always someone serving something. And like, for instance, my friend's like, "You didn't go back to Hulu?" Hell no. I ain't touching Hulu. Once I'm like, Gwendolyn, once I drop you, I'm done. There's because once I've dropped you, that means I've also worked to find a replacement, and I don't need to go back.
There you go.
And if I can shop at my community, and shop in the stores in my community, if I can make the circulation work better and getting those dollars in the community circulating, no need to go to the corporations if you don't have to. We
really
don't
ask
have to do it.
Like, what are needs and what are wants, right? Like that's the real question. The reason why I do my Swedish death cleaning is that there's a lot of stuff in here that we don't even need. I'm thinking, man, why did I buy that again? So many of us checked in, bought into this idea of what American life should look like. Now, I never bought the American dreams. I will say that, never followed the Joneses because I'm not part of that era of living. But we still had this idea of keeping up appearances for that little nod right there. And then you get older and you think, what was all of this worth? I mean, like, at the end of the day, real money, real wealth comes in managing your time, having autonomy, which they don't want us to have that because all these return to office deals is like, yeah, people realize I can do my job outside this fucking office. I don't need to be here. Like, I don't need to be with you either. Hopefully, some of us will learn this behavior change and will say, you know what? I don't need these things. I don't need these things. Are not going to fill this hole in my heart. I need a therapist for that or whatever else. Maybe some wine, maybe a little chocolate. But this doesn't have to be like, we don't have to keep on this path of ultra consumerism. It's killing us in more ways than one.
Well, I realize, and this is, confession moment, since you shared that, as I was clearing out my house for the move, and I think I talked to Gwendolyn about it, and I said, wow, I have so much. And compared to some of my friends, I don't have a lot of stuff, but I had a lot of stuff. I mean, and you look back and you say, all of the years, like 30 years living in an apartment, and half the things that I bought for my apartment, or the clothing or the things I needed, they were just moments of gratification. And I really didn't need them. I mean, in the long run, I could have done without half of the stuff because the reality came along is that when I was clearing the house out and I put some of the stuff out, I say, hey, anyone wants to, take this, just take it. Just not even, I wasn't even trying to sell it. I did try to go online and sell a couple of things on one of those marketplaces stuff. And then the people start trying to negotiate that down. I was like, wait a minute, I'm giving you for $10. You want to negotiate to $8? I mean, and I just realized this is just junk. Nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about the stuff that we've bought. And then I would put some of the stuff in the hall, like we had these little areas in our building where people put stuff and then people would collect and grab, and some things would just sit there and eventually just go right in the garbage. And then as I was getting closer to the end of the move, I just started dumping things that I spent money on, lots of money. I would just toss it in the garbage, in the garbage, in the garbage, in the garbage. And it was a stinging revelation that I spent all of this money over the years, and I'm just tossing it in the garbage because that is what it really is worth. Nothing. That was my reality in this move. All of the stuff that I gathered, it wasn't worth anything. Because at the end of the day, we can't take any of it.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm gonna disagree a little bit because I think a lot of times sometimes we make purchases in that moment. It either fulfills a need or a want, and sometimes it's not for good. But there are times when in that moment you needed this to get through to something. So I wouldn't say just because now you don't need it, it wasn't a need back then. And I don't want us to oversimplify the things that we all live. We have homes, we rent, we have furniture, we have things that we, clothing that makes us happy. I mean, so I don't want us to negate what things that we've had in the past, how it's made us feel, or if it was a necessity then. Just because it's not something we need now, we don't have to negate it.
I agree.
It might be junk now. Like listen, right now there's a pile of stuff on the floor that I had in the box, and I'm looking like, well, damn. I remember I had that, and I remember I used it extensively for that period because it served a need. It wasn't necessarily even a want; it was a need that I needed to have this in order to do this job, and I used it over time. But as time progresses, technologies change, that becomes obsolete, and you move on to the next thing. Yes, and then as you said, you threw a lot of stuff out because no one's going to want it because it's junk. But at the time, it was not junk. It was advanced, and it was advanced. It was something you needed.
Well, no, not necessarily. It was just something I just wanted.
Okay,
but there was, but the balance of it all. There was some things that I needed and some things that I wanted.
And I think that there's nothing wrong with us wanting to have something. Now, I can see if you're constantly going and spending like $10,000 to $20,000 on and I'm not singling out women or what, I'm just saying like a bag or some expensive shoes that you really
wallet,
don't necessarily need. Yeah, any of those things. But there are things that sometimes we treat ourselves to things. So I say we take all this stuff.
I think I'm a believer of everything in balance. But what it does make you just realize though, over the years, how much money we put into the American, I don't want to call it the dream, but some I'm an Architectural Digest kind of person. I look at things on the book and say, oh, I like that. I want to have that. But it's not always necessary.
Well, here's my point. Needs and wants depend on each person. Do I need wine in my house? Yes, that is a need for me. Okay. So we have to, but
it depends on the individual.
But here's the other side of that. The way that American life is set up is that there is this deal of keeping up with the Joneses. We know there are a lot of people who will just finance that dream. Okay. They're going to finance it. They don't really have the money. I mean, we see it on the Housewives where they're renting the Phantom or renting the mansion, renting the jewelry, renting the clothes. We see with these influencers, but they're renting all. It's like that's not necessary. So if you
crazy.
Your needs and wants on your values, Gwendolyn values liquid grapes. Okay. That's my value. It's the need for me. Can I live? I could, but I don't want to see that life, right? So we have to figure out our needs and wants. What I'm saying, when we look at this ultra consumerism, figure out what your values are. There are some things in this house that I thought, I didn't buy it because I needed it. It was more of I want to show something. I believe every single one of us at some time in our life have given in, even if it's like a month or a week, given in to the idea of being seen as top notch, top tier, trendsetter, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. I mean, I was in fashion world. Yeah, I was there. I did it. I did it. And then you realize this is that bullshit. Like, this is insane. Like, what am I doing? But everybody has it on their own level at whatever that is for you. That's all I'm saying is figure out your needs and wants. I will say for the average person, a lot of us are blessed beyond measure. We have the essentials.
So it was saying that I wanted to, someone had put in a comment also, instead of trying to sell your stuff, give it away to someone that is in need. And this brings me back to when we were moving from our last place to here. There were like some furniture pieces that we knew we weren't going to bring with us. And I did not want to throw it out because they were nice pieces. I figured let's give it to Salvation Army. That way they can either sell it or give it away to a family in need. And the day that we went to go and drop these pieces off at the Salvation Army, they were closed. But in the parking lot was another family that was there. They had just bought something. We had just missed the drop-off point. It was a family that was there. They bought it was a washer and dryer. They had a pickup truck. And we were just like, damn, we just missed them. And I said, you know what? Let me ask them. Maybe they might want this. Because I don't know what their situation is. I said, hey, so-and-so, we were here to drop some furniture off, but we just missed it. I said, I see you guys have a washer and dryer. Would you be in need of like this chair and I forget some other pieces? And they said, well, we're moving to an apartment. We have no furniture and we need stuff. I said, well, then if you want it, if you think it can fit, you can have it. They said, we'd love it. We took everything we had out of our truck and loaded it in their pickup truck. And they went home with 3 additional pieces of furniture that they said that they needed that we had no use for, and they were perfectly good. So my thing is like, if you have stuff, and I know a lot of it has to do with, time and stuff like that, but if you have things that you are no longer in need of, it doesn't mean that it's junk. It's just that it's not usable or useful for you at this time, but someone will find use. Your trash is someone else's treasure. So
there you go.
I encourage anyone,
treasure
if you have something that you can't use, donate to someone. Give it to Salvation Army, to Goodwill. Let someone else have it. They'll find use for it, and someone will be grateful for it.
I know Lisa said you could donate and get your tax write-off. Unfortunately, I capped out. Capped out for this year, so it doesn't matter what I give. You only get up to a certain amount. But yeah, that's it was a good conversation. I love this. I love that we had this. So, but today is 12:07, and it's time to get off this air, and so everyone can go back to work. And Adria is so funny. ChatGPT summarizes what I missed in the last 30 minutes. How does ChatGPT know what we talked about here?
It's listening.
It's listening. I guess it is. Blessings over profit. Ooh.
Yeah.
Anthony. Right. Okay, so let's go. Let me get to these wonderful banner stuff. There we go. And make sure you look into joining our email list. That would be a good thing. And also, I am an event photographer. So if you are looking for an event photographer, reach out to me. I love photographing events. And that means also photojournalism. Journalism is events happening in the world. So that's what I also do. Thank you, Patreon members. Your support helps us create amazing content. And again, it's the Patreon folks that keep us here, and those that support financially. It is a financial undertaking to be on here every day, but we do it because we love it. Every one of us that are on these platforms, we do it because we love it. And also, speaking of, make sure you hit the likes. You are invited to join this YouTube channel and hit the likes and subscribe. Okay, there you go. Any last words, Gwendolyn?
I'm going to be on later on this afternoon at 2:00 Central with Victoria Carrington Chavez. We're talking about using your story, how your story can serve others, which I absolutely love, because we all have a story to tell and it can help somebody else.
2:00?
2:00 p.m. Central.
We'll be watching.
Central, 1:00 Eastern. Was it 3:00 Eastern?
No, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock Eastern, 2:00 Central. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, anything you want to share?
Nope, nothing new to report over here. It's a regular Hump Wednesday.
This was a good conversation, y'all. Thank you so much. And I'll put the information for the food pantries, all of that inside of the into the description of today's chat. Lisa says, Ron, the big ugly bill raised the amount to 40,000. Not in New York. I do not believe so. We'll check that one out with the tax man. But if it's so, I did give a lot of stuff away, way beyond that. So let's do that. So guys, see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's our Trend Watch Thursday. You'll see Chris and I here, and probably also the rest of the gang. But we'll be here together, and because we like to talk about what's going on trending, like we did today. We will talk tomorrow. Later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.